break up. What? Y'all heard me. I said I want to break up. Why? What did I do? 'Cause it's this thing, y'all know, like, we just can't agree on anything. I always want to do one thing, and you always want to do the complete opposite, and I just can't take that crap anymore. You know, you're like a monkey. You always be making crap, and y'all just taking it and throwing it everywhere like y'all think it's funny, but it stinks. It stinks so bad it makes my eyes water, and I just can't take it. We are over. Hey, you get back here, woman. You hear me? Oh, okay, I see how it is. Fine, if it's where you want, it's where you get. And what a nasty war it was going to be between North and South. Hence, the Civil War began between the Union and the Confederacy.
Tonight we're going hard, 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 just like the world is art, art, art.
The American Civil War lasted from 1861 till 1865 and considered one of the most brutal and industrialized wars in American history. It was a war of regional tensions between the anti-slavery states of the North versus the seceded slavery states of the South, aka the Confederate States. Of course, many events during the war foreshadow who had the best tools of winning, and the first foreshadowing events mainly occurred in 1862. Now, you must be thinking to yourself right now, why is that? What events made 1862 such a significant year in this war? Well, that's the question we're going to answer through this video. Now, the first thing we're going to consider is the Western Campaign by Ulysses S. Grant. You know, Ulysses S. Grant, that fat guy right there in the picture who later became the 18th American president? Alright, so Grant spent his time in Galena, Illinois until he was called by the governor to drill Union Army volunteers just because, well, no one else would do the job. Okay, so let's get started. And so Grant became Brigadier General of Volunteers, who then led the Western Campaign. The objective of the campaign was to cut the Confederacy in half by winning the Mississippi Valley. They first occupied Paducah, Kentucky. Woo! Yeah! Then an unsuccessful attack at Belmont, Missouri. Woo! You just got owned! Ow! But later advanced on into Tennessee and captured Fort Henry on the Tennessee River. Oh, shut up, we know, we lost. Whatever. After that, the Union then captured Fort Donelson, where the Confederate commander, embarrassed by his epic fail, asked Grant for terms. And, as a bonus, please accept this delicious plate of chocolate chip cookies my 10-year-old daughter made. No terms except an unconditional and immediate surrender can be accepted. No cookies for you, you're too fat. So, as the Western Campaign went on, Confederate forces were pushed back to Corinth, Mississippi. Throughout the time, Grant was criticized for conduct in battle, but President Lincoln said in bold words, "I cannot spare this man. He fights." And for the rest of 1862, Grant spent his time making plans to take Vicksburg, a Confederate stronghold on the Mississippi River which served as a transportation point for Confederates. In the end, of course, Grant was honored as a Civil War hero. In short, his actions in the West were what suppressed Confederate forces and helped to corner them for the near future. But enough about our friend Ulysses for now. We have to discuss the next important thing about 1862, and that is the battle of the seas between the Monitor and the Merrimac. And by Merrimac, we don't mean this. The Monitor and the Merrimac were two American warships that fought each other during the Civil War, and this was the first engagement between ironclad ships. When the Union abandoned Norfolk Navy at Portsmouth, Virginia, they ran into a steam frigate known as the Merrimac, and, because it was a Confederate ship, of course, scuttled it with a burning passion. However, after a few months of battleship plastic surgery, the Confederates raised her and converted her into the ironclad Virginia. On March 8th, the Virginia then sallied forth into location of the Union blockade of 1 ships, savagely beating the crap out of every one of them. Woo, yeah, that's right, you better run back to Mama. Yeah, homie, you got nothing on me, I'm like a G6, I'm so fly. The next day, what the heck are you?
I am the Monitor. Union make me strong like bull with iron and steel. and I shoot your face!
And as the duel went on,
Your mama's so stupid she thought Windex was a type of fart! Your mama's so hairy, the only language she speaks is Wookiee.
and the fighting went on for 4 hours until it ended in a draw. The Virginia did challenge the Monitor again a month later, but the Union ship declined combat. And this warfare between two American ironclad ships is what marked a huge revolution in naval warfare, showing that when it comes to war, advanced industrialization is the way to go. The next important event of 1862, aside from that, is the Peninsular Campaign. This campaign was the most ambitious Union operation of the American Civil War. It first starts with a guy named General George B. McClellan, who was given command of the Army of Potomac. McClellan, however, had a small problem with overcaution of his armies. Ow! Dang it! I cut my finger!
Oh my God, Smith, are you okay? Here, let me go get some Band-Aids.
Sir, I'm fine, really,
More. There, all better. Now let the eye kiss your poo-poo so it doesn't cause an infection.
Sir, what are you doing? I'm fine.
Shh. Hush, Smith. Now here, have a fudge brownie.
McClellan then inched towards the Confederate capital during the spring. An army of over 10,000 men would be transported by sea to the peninsula between the James and York rivers to the east of the capital, Richmond. However, this peninsular campaign resulted in failure, which became very controversial. Why did they miserably fail? For one thing, McClellan's army was held up by small Confederate forces and was slowed down, preventing them from making any assault in Richmond.
What the heck? We lost. This is Washington's fault. They never sent us enough men.
Sir, we already had enough men to outnumber the enemy through the entire thing. They were absolutely puny compared to us.
Oh, wow. So we lost miserably to a tiny army. How embarrassing. I feel so ashamed. I'm a horrible general. Come here, Smith. Come hug me. I feel very sad.
The Union did have other bad days as well, such as at the Second Battle of Bull Run, taking place from August 29th to 30th, and at the same place as the First Battle of Bull Run. It began when forces of General Pope attacked those of Confederate General Stonewall Jackson, and it was one of the most significant Confederate victories of the Civil War. Ironically, there was promise of a quick Union victory, so John Pope was instructed to command a new army of Virginia. On the first day of the battle, Union forces were on the attack, but they were surprisingly defeated on the second day. Willis, you realize you're missing a leg and there's blood gushing everywhere, right?
I don't have time to bleed.
Well, dude, tell that to your leg then, not me. Now remember that Peninsular Campaign we just mentioned earlier? Well, during that time was a definite battle close to Richmond, Virginia called the 7 Days Battle, going on for, 7 days. Jackson failed to arrive, but Hill's troops still attacked and repulsed in the battles of Mechanicsville and Beaver Dam Creek. Porter fell back to another strong position at Groves Mill. On the second day, the Confederates greatly outnumbered the North and crushed the Union's resistance by nightfall. Porter joined with McClellan's army and moved to the James River to add naval support. Robert E. Lee, meanwhile, tried to intercept McClellan twice, but McClellan posted his army at Melvin Hill. Hence, the Battle of Melvin Hill took place in the 6th day.